Hey guys, what's going on today? BOJoeKO here, and we are finally back for our Vancouver Canucks GM mode. So I know I have taken a very long break from this GM mode series for you guys because, as you guys know, I put it to a vote to see what you guys wanted. If you just wanted to simulate the games, if you wanted me to do like an in-game simulation for each and every game, or if you wanted to do like a mini wrap-up series. Well, I didn't do any of them because I kind of got booked up. My schedule got really full. I didn't have time to really do any of this. And I really do want to get the series still progressing through. I still want to try to get this one and at least one more GM mode done before the end of 15 is here and 16 starts to come around. So I think just to progress the series and just to continue going along here, what I think we're going to do is we're just going to go right through each individual game. Maybe we'll check out the stats and whatnot after, depending on after every 3 games, see how the series looks, see who's performing, who's not performing on our team, possibly. But I think for the series, and for the whole entire playoffs, we're just going to simulate all these lines up here. So I don't even know if I can check the lineups for Calgary before I can even start. Even though we have a Be a Pro with Calgary, I would assume that it would be pretty much the same. So let me see if there's any possibility. League settings, or is this for the GM mode? Yeah, that's for the GM mode. Okay, so we don't need that. I'm just going to see if there's any possibilities of checking out Calgary's lines or not. Let's see. Edit lines. Sure, let's do that. Starting lineups. No, we cannot view other teams. Okay. I figured as much. I don't think there is a way we can do that. Unless it's like manage budget, view contracts, offer sheets. We might be able to view the contracts for other teams. Maybe. Let me see if I view contracts. Can I view the contracts for another team? Nope, main roster. Okay, yeah. So we can't check the lineups for the Calgary Flames either. So that's kind of unfortunate, but whatever. So we're just gonna get through this. No, we're not gonna go back out all the way. We're just gonna go to the calendar. We'll simulate 3 games at a time, or really 2 games at a time, and we'll just see what happens. All right. I do want to get the draft started because the new draft system obviously has been updated since starting this. It does carry over to old save files, so even though this is an old save file from when I originally the game came out, the new drafting feature will still be featured in this, and hopefully we'll get to start that today, depending on the outcome of the playoffs. Alright, so our first series here on the road, we do not have home ice advantage against Calgary, so here we go. So let's do the first 2 games of this series between the Calgary Flames and the Vancouver Canucks on the road. So we lose the first game 3-2. On the road, and for game number 2, we come back with an overtime loss. So we're down 2-0 in the series so far. All right, let's simulate up one more game here for game number 3. See if we can make it a 2-1 game. Yeah, let's add our scouting assignments because depending on the outcome of this series, we might be doing this a little bit better this time. A- in those leagues. Russia, we scouted them once. United States. How many? Yeah, we need to go here to the dub. Let's see. So forwards. Yeah, forwards for 6 weeks. All right, let's simulate that game past Calgary. 5-1 loss. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna beat Calgary in this series. It doesn't look like it. Calgary just might be a much better team than us, honestly. Even in the simulation. Now, well, we come back with a 5-1 win in game number 4. Maybe there is hope. Who knows? Maybe there's hope. There's no real. I'll check the stats and see who performed in the playoffs afterwards. But other than that, there's no real reason. 2-1 loss, and there we go. So we lose to the Calgary Flames in 5 games, and we are out in the first round as expected. So, I mean, we did make the trade for Shane Doan. We fought all the way back into the series, but or into our division. But it doesn't look like anything was going to come about it. Alright, so let's just do a little stats central here and just check out the player stats for the playoffs here. Actually see who did what because we can't check the in-game simulations or whatnot. Alright, so yeah, we'll just check for all forwards. Alright, so Bonino had 3 points, Gotch had 3 points, Cassian, Sedin had 3, Doan had 2, Galchenyuk had 2, Johansson had 2, Richardson, Sedin. So it looks like we got some depth goal scoring at least. Cassian had 2 goals. Doan had 2 goals. Richardson had 2 goals. Sedin with a goal and assist. Condra. So Jensen and Nyquist were the only 2 guys who did not actually have a point in any of those 2 games for our forwards at the very least. So that's not that bad, I guess. And then defensemen here, we have Edler had 3, Fowler and Tana with 1, Hamhuis, Spies, and Stanton didn't have anything. And then how'd the goaltenders do? I guess we started Eddie Lack. He probably got put into one of those games, probably pulled Ryan Miller. But Miller with 2.3, 1-3, save percentage at .923, no shutouts obviously. And there you go. So let's see who actually performed pretty well for Calgary, because we can check the stats for Calgary. Can't check their lineup though, but Jonas Hiller, yeah, he played pretty good, 1.87. Pretty good for Hiller. Forward-wise, Gaudreau went off in that series, 6 points for him. Backlund had 4, Hoodler had 3, Monahan, Raymond, Setaguchi all had 3, Barchi and Jones with 2, Marcus Granlund with 1, Stajan had 1. Okay, so that's it for the forwards. And then defensemen, Brody and Russell both had 3, Giordano, Wideman had 2, Englund and Schmid didn't have anything. Alright, so Hiller kind of won him that series. Hiller played pretty well, it seemed. Okay, so now all that is done. We can simulate a little bit ahead here. Not too much, because I do believe if we do simulate a little bit ahead, we will not be able to do our drafting. So let's our drafting little evaluation that I'd like to do. Now we don't have a first round pick, we have a second round pick, but we might be able to possibly trade away some of our assets for our first round pick as well, because we know we have a lot of rookie forwards coming up. So possibly some of those older forwards could be on the way out. You know, we have guys like Hunter Shinkaruk and who else? Shinkaruk and Lyndon Vey. I don't know if he was playing this year. I don't think he was. I think we sent him down. So Lyndon Vey could be up here. We know we have Jensen on the rise as well. So he could get a roster spot as well. And there's a lot of other young guys down there too that we'll have to check out. But alright, so let me see if I can do my drafting a little bit. Assign, let me go to, so we can actually do this a little bit. Trade, scout, and sign free agents. Alright, so we want to go to here. Let's go to scouting. Scouted players. Okay. Let's see. List all scouted players. Okay, let's see if we can sort this by potentials here. Alright, so we do have some, here are all the pretty much all the forwards we're looking at here. So Gogolev, top 4 defenseman here. We can pin him to our watch list. Just going to add a lot of these guys. So Dmitry Ostapov, Gabriel Diastu Moreau. So a lot of these guys are top 4s, top 6s. So he had a top 4 potential. We know where he's going. Can we check out his player thing here? First rounder. First round. Okay, that's where they're expecting to go to. So we can actually take like really in-depth looks of all these guys. There's 2 goaltenders that are going to be NHL starters, it looks like. Possibly first rounders. A first or second round for that guy. He looks old as crap. Oh my god. Rope, top 10 guy for this guy. So Sam Roop. He looks like he's going to be a high player here. So what was Gogolev? Gogolev is a first rounder. Or Gogolev. Ostapov, Moreau. He's a Canadian guy, first or second rounder. I'm going to add a bunch of these first or second rounder guys. So I'm going to pin him to our watch list as well. I don't really need forwards. I do need some defensive prospects. Oh, this guy. Look at that guy. A top 6 defenseman. This guy, and he's not going to the 5th or 6th round. We're going to definitely pin him to our watch list. Tikhanov, probably. What's his name? Ruslan Tikhanov, an offensive defenseman. Cole Beavan, we already checked him. Oh, it sees right there. Oh, wow, there you go. A franchise goaltender in Cole Keller. Cole Keller, a franchise goaltender. I didn't even see that on the right side there. Matteo Giordano, 3rd rounder there. Alright, pin him to our watch list. Roop. These are all our leagues, right? Yeah, Roop, he's a top 10 guy, so I doubt we're going to get him. Fanjoy. Dishney. I want to look for these guys with potentials, too. Sandhu. Ethan Prince, looks like he's going top 5. Calvin Spencer, 2-way forward, going in the 3rd or the 4th. We can you can not only have a max number of players on your list too. All right. All right, let me go back to my thing here. Let me remove some of the guys I know I don't want. Like, let's see. Like Gogliev, I think was a first rounder, so we know we can remove him. We know we can remove him. He is view profile. He was going to our first or second, so we can leave Destos Moreau there. We can leave Tikhanov there. Keller, he was a franchise guy, so I don't think we're gonna get him. Because more likely he's going to be first or second round, more than likely. Franchise, Kamloops Blazers, yeah, more than likely he'll be top of the line for a goaltender. So this is kind of cool. I like this. I kind of like this aspect. It's really nice. All right, so we can remove Keller because we know we're not going to get him. Let's just get the depth, some of the depth players in here. Get a couple defensemen and a couple like late round forwards that we could possibly snag up with good potentials as well. All right, so I think we had 2 defensemen. All right, so let's look for some. Do we need centers? Centers would be good. Let's see how our scouted centers are looking here. All right, Bolesky, a top 6 forward going undrafted as a playmaker? Really? Wow. That could be something. I'm going to add him to the watch list. Well, actually, no. If he goes undrafted, we could sign him in free agency. There's no point in that. And besides, we want guys with the potential anyway. So Adam Brooks is a 2-way forward. Reed Gardner, bottom 6 high. A lot of these guys are just bottom 6s. Yeah, bottom 6 players for center. So nothing really too exciting in the center other than this guy. Gene Bolesky looks like he's going to go as a first rounder. Oh, did it just change? I could swore it just changed. It said he was going undrafted, and now he is going drafted as first round. That's weird. Don't know how that worked. But first round, third round, we can definitely snap Matto Girano up here, so we can pin him. All right, and then let's go for one more defenseman here. Let's see, so Gogolev, like I said, first rounder for him. Us, first rounder. We have him added already. Jesse Mills, a franchise player. Yep, we know about him already. Kevin Davis, a top 6 2-way. That's not bad. We have Tikhanov already, so that guy could be good. Kevin Davis, possibly. Defenseman, top 6. Yeah, so Jesse Mills, I don't think we're going to be able to get, but I'm going to add, who was it? It was this guy, right? Yeah, Kevin Davis. I'm going to pin Kevin Davis to our list as well. And there we go. So we just have some guys here who are going to be going around in the second rounders. Didn't have really a winger. Did I add Girano twice? I did. Let me remove him. We can add somebody else. I'll add a winger. I will add a winger. Let's add a left winger because I really don't think I have many of them. Number late draft picks as well. All right, Benson, he's going top 5. Nick Shikowski, top 10. Gillard, top 5. Justin Merrick, me and potential become a top 9 forward going in the 3rd or the 4th round. That's not bad. And we do have a lot of late round picks too, so we can possibly grab up a lot of those players that we want. So that'll be good. High potential for our bottom 4. I'm going to put Justin Merrick. I'm going to add him to my watch list as well. This is a 2-way forward. Okay, so there we go. So we got a left winger, 3 defensemen, and a center that are going late rounds. So those are just notable guys that are going as late round picks. That should be interesting for the draft. We have 13 minutes left, so you know what? I think we can definitely go into the draft. I definitely think we can. Even though there's still a little bit of scouting that does need to be left as well. We'll continue to simulate through the calendar here. We'll bring it up to the draft, and we shall do our drafting, because I think that'll be pretty exciting. We'll evaluate the team. I think we'll evaluate the team the day before the draft. So let's go a week or 2 before. That way we can possibly evaluate our team after the Stanley Cup champions are decided, and then we can take it from there. But if I'm thinking about the team right now, the Sedins still stay for at least one more year, in my opinion. Depending on where we are at the trade deadline next year, yeah, we can edit the scouting assignment again. It's not really going to matter that much to me. I'm just going to go... I'm just going to go to... Yeah, I'm just going to continue to go with the OHL for... Let's continue to scout those defensemen for... just for the rest of the month. And get that done. So, like I said, I still think the Sedins stay here for at least one more year, but there could be a defenseman that goes. All right, so the playoffs have ended. Your Stanley Cup champions are your Pittsburgh Penguins. So the Penguins won the Stanley Cup this year, it seems. All right, fitting. So Philly won last year in Pittsburgh. So 2 years in a row, the Stanley Cup has stayed in the state of Pennsylvania. So that's pretty cool. All right, so the draft is right there. Let's go to the 21st. And then we'll be able to do our unique little draft. So that should be cool. Alright, I don't think I can look at contracts. Pretty sure I can't. But I will just double check at that. We'll check out awards as well. Let me see. Manage roster. No. Nope, can't do that. I can check out progress reports, though. I will do that. Got a lot of stuff to do in this episode. It's going to be a very long one as well. Alright, so let's check out the modifiers here. So Shane Doan actually went up to an 86. So he had 15 stats modified throughout the entire year, and it's statistical growth as well. So a lot of statistical growth is going up. So he's a free agent at the end of this year, and I don't think the retirements are announced till tomorrow. So you know what, he could possibly maybe or maybe not. All right, so Gotch dropped to an 83. That's fine. Bo Horvat jumped up to an 80 now, so me and top 6 potential forward for him, so he's 80 right now. Jared McCann, he's up there. He's up to a 75. Ham Hughes, 5. What is 5 yellow? Does that mean like he went up and down and like evened out? No, that means, don't know what that means. That's weird why it's yellow. I guess he just stayed at the same overall. Oh, okay, that's what it means. He stayed at the same overall. Okay. Johansson dropped. Interesting. Richardson is starting to drop. Yeah, so possibly he could go. Miller still stayed in 88, so he's still around here. Sedin, Henrik still stayed at 87. Daniel, like I said, dropped down to an 87. Spiza went up to an 84. Tanev still stayed in 84. I think he might have went up a little bit too. Benino stayed, and then all these guys didn't have any stats modified there. In the system, guys, let's check out these players. So Cederholm, 71. Gertson, Garrett Mears, Archambault, Hogboom. Brendan Gaunce is up to a 79. Jake Virtanen's up to a 77 now. And these are just the potential growths throughout the year. Shinkaruk's up to an 80, so there you go. And Lyndon Vay's up to an 81. And he got some stats modified, and he stayed at an 81. So there you go. There's 3 players right there. You had Horvat, Shinkaruk, and Lyndon Vay. 3 players that could definitely make out on at least your 3rd line next year, or some second lines. And, those are 3 players right there you can definitely put. Goaltenders, let me see goaltenders in the system. Auger and Polvika, only 75 and 74 for these guys. So I want them to, continue to grow a little bit. We're going to be using one of these guys as trade bait very later on. Who knows? Maybe we can even use one of them now that their overalls are getting a little bit better as well. Who knows? It's definitely still want to keep Polvika around, remember, as our goaltender of the future. But Auger or one of them will be definitely trade bait. So there's the progress reports. Can I look at contracts? Can I manage my budget and view contracts? I can view contracts. Okay. Very nice. Alright, so let's look at all expiring players that are going to be coming up this year. Okay, so we'll take a look at the forwards here. So Brad Richardson is going to be an unrestricted free agent this year, so we definitely can decide if we want to re-sign him or not. Like I said, it doesn't show the star potential, so you have to make the decision in and of itself if you want to re-sign him. Vay's going to be a restricted free agent. Keenis, yeah, we can probably let him go. Lundholm, we're going to keep him unsigned. Shane Doan, that could be an interesting signing. That could be an interesting player there. He did have a good year. If he doesn't retire, he could be an interesting player there. Cassian, I still think we keep Cassian around. Yeah, Archibald, Condra. I definitely think we could re-sign Condra, and then Mirror. So those are all the forwards. It's basically just Richardson, but then again, we could replace Brad Richardson easily with a guy like Lyndon Vay. That's pretty cool. How I can push that away too. That's pretty cool. But yeah, like if you compare Richardson and Vay defensively, not too much difference. I mean, Richardson is a little bit better on faceoffs than Vay is, but he's a playmaker and a two-way forward. Vay brings a much more better offensive offensive aspect than Richardson does, definitely, even though Richardson's kind of a fourth-line role anyway. We'll have to see. We all have to see. But those are the forwards that are expiring. Defensemen. We have Hamhuis, Stanton, and Sanguinetti. So I think Dan Hamhuis definitely needs to get re-signed. Stanton needs to get re-signed. Sanguinetti, I think he can get released. Let me look at all my other defensemen, though. Just main roster guys for defense. We have Edler and Fowler. Yeah, they're still signed long-term, which is fine. Hamhuis, definitely have to re-sign him. Spiza, Stanton, and Tanev, yeah. So I honestly think the defensive core just still needs to stay around here. And then goaltending. Is Eddie Lack a expiring free agent? Yes, he is. So Eddie Lack, there's another decision we have to make too. Do we re-sign Eddie Lack? Or even though I think he went up. I think he went back up to an 84. 84 and an 83. I think he might have went up a little bit. Yeah, still backup goaltender. So, a lot of decisions we have to make here. But if there's going to be any trades, possibly we'll look at the trades. We'll definitely look at some trades. All right, so you know what? Let's go into the draft here. We're already wasting enough time as it is. Let's keep advancing a day. I could have just hit sim to the draft too. Oh, I want to check out the awards too before that draft happens. Yeah, let's edit our trading block. Alright, so let's remove these things first. Let's add ourselves an item here. Alright, so Galchenyuk, no. We want to put on here goaltenders. We're going to put Auger on the trading block. Not BOJoeKO. We want to keep BOJoeKO around. Defenseman here. Let's see. Like I said, Hamhuis we can't trade. I don't think we can trade any of these defensemen away. I think all the defensemen really have to stay. Yeah, I think so as well. Forward-wise, should I put the Sedins up there just to possibly see what I can get back for them? Still 3 years left on each of those guys. Yeah, still 3 years left on Sedin. Shinkrook stays. Yeah, all these guys. Bonino, Horvat, yeah, Johansson. Johansson still stays. He's still 25. 3 years left, yeah. 3.4. He's still around here. McCann, Gaunce, Jensen, Gotch, Richardson. Yeah, I think we're fine. I think we just draft. Honestly, I think we just draft. I'll put the Sedins on there just to see, just to I guess appeal to offers from other teams. All right. So we'll just put those guys on there. Don't know if that's saved or not. I think it did. It probably did. Let me see. Shit. You know what? Fuck it. Send to the draft.